Hey everybody, it's Loomer. So today I'm bringing you another Wanna match from the Revelations beta, and today I thought I'd showcase kind of one of the more frustrating matches that I ran into throughout the beta. So overall I'm pretty happy with the beta overall. I like the things that they're trying to do with it. I do think it needs tweaking, and I know I've said before that kind of I think the biggest problem I've run into with the beta, in my opinion, is how the reverse detection meter really hinders your ability to take out runners and roofers in the game compared to Brotherhood for very high scoring kills. And so this is a match where everyone is pretty much running around on the roof or just like spazzing out everywhere, and it's a really frustrating match. And so I thought I'd talk a little bit about that. And I thought I'd also talk a little bit about the map design in the maps that were released for the Revelations beta, because the map layouts are really important. I think one of the most important things to do when you're learning to play the game well is to really take into account the map layouts and develop kind of strategies for each one of them. And it's something I try to kind of emphasize a little bit in whenever I do a video. I try to at least throw in one tidbit here or there about how I use the map layouts to develop certain strategies or kind of predict where people are going to go. So the Revelations beta had 3 maps: Antioch, Knight's Hospital, and the one I'm playing on in this match, which is Galata. And the thing about these maps is they're all massive. They're all huge, and I thought it was really funny because Esco brought this up in the podcast he had with the developers later, and I remember Aymar was saying, "Oh, you know what? Like, actually, I can guarantee you that these maps are exactly the same size as the ones in Brotherhood. They're not any bigger." And when he said that, I was just kind of thinking to myself, I was like, "Well, okay, if you told me all these maps were the exact same size as like Alhambra, I'd just like." Yeah, I could believe that. I thought it was kind of funny that he said that, but between the 3, Antioch was easily my favorite map out of the 3. It actually reminded me a lot of Rome. Rome was a very big map, but the buildings were kind of spaced out a lot, so it wasn't really that easy to roof across everywhere. It was kind of large alleyways to walk through, and it had a large open marketplace in the middle, which also kind of everyone kind of would gravitate to that area sometimes, and it just made it really hard to kind of roof across the whole map. And Antioch, definitely, more than the other 2 maps, has those kind of open areas. Some of the other maps have open areas, but they're really hard to channel people into because they're not as centrally located as the ones in Antioch, or they're not very big. Like the ones in Galata. So there's this big open area that I just spawned in, but it's at one end of the map, and the other end of the map has also a huge area. Open area, but they're really hard to channel people into, and there's kind of one that's right in the middle of this map, but it's so small that it's not really it's just really frustrating. And so in a map like Galata, it's like it's actually kind of got a, you can see it has very narrow alleyways, and it has this kind of multi-tiered level design that's very similar to Alhambra, or actually it's a lot like the lower areas of Mont Saint Michel. And this map breaks my heart. It reminds me a lot of Alhambra in that it's very, like, visually, I think it's amazing. I think it's it's very easy on the eye. It's just like Alhambra was, but playing on it is just this multi-tiered nightmare. And this map to me kind of combines, it's like a combination of Alhambra and Mont Saint Michel. And Mont Saint Michel, it could be a frustrating map, but the thing about it was that there was kind of a large open courtyard, with the really loud French herald who would just like shout stuff. And generally you could get people to come around into that area, and eventually they would come through it. It's pretty centrally located. It was a large open area, but if the action ever in some matches the action would suddenly take place down in the lower areas where all the really all the really narrow alleyways and the roofs, all the multi-tiered roofs were. I think we can all agree that whenever that happened, the map suddenly became really, really annoying and frustrating. And Galata is almost, it's kind of a lot like that. It kind of got this weird design that's not quite like anything in Brotherhood. Like, it's almost like a giant staircase where you kind of start out high on one end of the map and you're kind of constantly descending until you reach the other end of the map. But that just results in people just constantly just finding themselves on the roof. Like, it's really it's really hard not to roof on this map. And it's just really annoying, especially when you're in a match like this. You know, this match has a lot of lower level players, and so they probably roof a little more than usual. But honestly, you know, I would say more than half my games were almost as bad, or, you know, very similar to this type of match. You know, sometimes when I found a wanted match where people were trying to play stealthy, and if you watch my 2 earlier wanted videos from the beta, this is one of my favorite things to do with knives now, because you can use them defensively. You can actually knock people down that are in acrobatic positions, and you can stun them when they hit the ground. So I thought that was pretty awesome. And here with this guy, this is about the only way to get really high scoring kills on people that are roofing and running around, is to drop kill them. But that's kind of hard to pull off very reliably, I think, and so it's not really the best solution to it. And the funny thing there is, you might have noticed I got a streak bonus too, even though it was just I think it was a reckless kill, and that was just a bug that was present throughout the beta, where if you had the 3 kill streak, and you were on your and you just needed 1 more for your streak, you could get a kill, and then no matter what stealth level it was at, it would give you the streak bonus for that. So that was a bug that happened throughout the beta. Anyway, and so you know, this map, whenever I played it, it was always kind of a nightmare to try to navigate with all the roofers and everything. And you know, the other 2 matches I posted up earlier are from Antioch, and you can tell that just the way the map's designed, it's a lot more fun, and people aren't going as crazy in those matches. You know, I'm giving the game the benefit of the doubt. I'm not. You know, for one thing, I have faith that Ubisoft is going to try to address some of these issues before the actual game comes out. But it's also, you kind of have to think about the fact that it's almost as if you're playing Brotherhood and you had only 3 maps that it cycles through, and those 3 maps were, say, like Mont Saint Michel, Alhambra, and like Forlì or something. And it's like, that would be a pretty crappy game to keep playing. That's kind of what the Revelations beta was. But the full game will have more varied maps, and I'm sure they'll have something similar to Siena or Castel. I mean, Castel's coming back anyway. And so I'm kind of trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, but you can kind of see what a frustrating game that was. But the funny thing is, if you look at the stats here, I got 3 kills, and when you look at the breakdown, it was 3 reckless kills. And so getting that kind of score in Brotherhood with 3 reckless, or 3 discrete kills in Brotherhood would be pretty much like unheard of. And so you can see how they've kind of rebalanced the points around. And so most of those points came from my escapes that I got, the stuns, I got a couple streaks, the drop kill helped, and some honorable death bonuses. And so it's kind of interesting the way they've rebalanced the points. But the problem is, you know, just because I won the game doesn't mean that it was a fun game. And so I'm hoping that's something that they're going to address, and it's not just going to be based around points. It should be based around having fun, right? Anyway, that's it for the video. So I was hoping to put out a couple more videos before Revelations comes out in November, but I haven't actually decided whether or not it was going to be Brotherhood or more Revelations beta videos. So if you have a preference, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.